All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about why I was wrong about Nvidia and why you're wrong about AMD. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get on with this, man. I have been making a lot of videos essentially condemning Nvidia and being totally negative about Nvidia after the experience that I've had with Nvidia. A lot of that, not just user error, but misunderstanding, not knowing enough about PC gaming to really understand the ins and outs and the Nvidia experience. And let's be honest, Nvidia doesn't make it easy for you to find that stuff, at least up until now. Now that they're bringing out this app and starting to focus more on the user experience, I have to give Nvidia props for that. I have to. And them being willing to close that gap and bring that experience is going to significantly improve the overall Nvidia experience. But you're wrong about AMD as well. AMD has 100% provided a stable, good, easy to understand, easy to come to grips with user experience that builds that builds an app, a software suite that is 100% geared towards gaming, and you can tell everything that's in the Adrenaline software 100% explains everything to you, and it's easy to figure out, so it can greatly improve your overall experience just by flipping a couple of buttons or getting in there, selecting some different things, and it tells you everything. Like, it gives you a readout of all of that stuff, which has greatly improved my PC experience and given me the courage and making me comfortable enough to move over to PC and not necessarily have to depend and rely on my consoles for all my gaming needs. Now I get to experience and have fun on the PC platform because AMD paved the way, because they build their stuff for gamers. So when it comes to Nvidia and AMD, both of them offer 100% compelling reason to own both of them. If you're new to PC, I suggest starting with AMD. Not only starting with AMD, it's going to save you money because you're not going to be paying for all these other features and everything. It's going to save you money. You'll be able to get better hard. You'll be able to buy, a better motherboard or better power supply, or better preparations for your next upgrade when you get to that point. Now I do recommend either one of the 4070 Super or a 7800 XT if you guys want to stay in that price range. With the pricing of the 4070 Super being $600, that also opens the door to where you can get a 5900 or 7900 GRE, which is also a very good value. Definitely gives you a little bit more power than the 7800 XT. It's going to give you better ray tracing performance because it's going to have 80 ray tracing cores versus the 60 ray tracing cores that the 7800 XT has. Either way, you're going to be fine if you're in the mid range. I would say during my testing, there are some games on the 4070 Super that definitely pull away performance-wise. Being able to utilize, DLSS or the ray tracing and all of those things on the 4070 Super does allow that card to pull away from the 7800 XT in those use case scenarios. But when it comes to like pure rasterization power and stuff like that, the 7800 XT 100% holds its ground against this 4070 Super in all of my testing and everything that I've seen and experienced with the 7800 XT since December, since I bought it. I think these cards are awesome mid-range cards, and buying into the mid-range in PC is going to allow you to have a very good experience, especially if you're coming from console. You'll absolutely be blown away. I mean, the 7600 XT would probably blow you away coming from PS5 or Xbox Series X, and that's being honest. The only thing that really kind of hurts the Nvidia side is the lack of VRAM. If you're trying to play 4K on a 4070 Super, you are going to notice that it is going to cause you to feel like you are not getting a good experience. It's going to make you feel like you're going to have to upgrade, and that's fine. Like, that's Nvidia designs their cards um to make you want to buy the next one, to make you want to support and enjoy the new features that Nvidia brings to the market. They do pave the way on forward thinking technologies and stuff. And then AMD, the experience that I've had with AMD is you buy the AMD card, and like the last thing on your mind when you buy that is upscaling, is any of that stuff. You're buying the AMD experience for what they're putting out right there at the time, which is rasterization. But over this generation, I've seen the 7800 XT or the 7900 XT 100% gain more features, get significantly better as this generation has progressed. Like the fine wine thing. And it's pretty interesting, man. Like AMD, you buy the card and it just kind of stays exciting because you're like getting new features all the time, or you're getting this, or something's getting improved, or something's getting better. Whereas the Nvidia experience launches day one with pretty solid support, and so that experience is really good out of the box. And then as the generation kind of moves forward, you'll start to see like a little bit of drop off, and that's fine. That's fine. It's not a big deal. If you're buying for longevity, I don't recommend Nvidia, at least in their mid range and stuff like that. Unless you're playing like older games, or you're playing older games and you're upgrading from like an older card to like a 4070 Super, and you don't really care about like the new AAA games and all of that stuff, then maybe it makes sense. But and I'm not saying that you can't make a 4070 Super last. I'm not saying that. You definitely can. There's always settings. But if you're looking for that ultra settings and blah 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 out of the gate, yeah, I don't think the Nvidia cards are going to do too well going forward with that. But if you're willing to upgrade every generation for Nvidia, absolutely it makes sense. Are you paying a little bit extra for? Yeah, you are, but you are staying on the bleeding edge of what's coming and what's there. So that's not a bad thing. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. Before, I used to have this mindset like, oh man, I want longevity. I want it to last like my consoles do and stuff like that. Just know that like going into Nvidia, you're gonna feel that like need to upgrade more often. You are, if you're in mid range or anything like that, you're probably gonna feel that. And like Jensen says, the more you buy, the more you save. Yes, obviously, if you get a 4090, you got 24 gigs of VRAM, so you're not gonna have that issue. You're gonna have a lot of power that's gonna last you a couple generations. I mean, either way, like. With a 4090, you're going to get anywhere from 4 to 6 years and probably be satisfied. Whereas with a 4070, you're probably going to get 1 to 3 or 2 to 3 years where you're going to be pretty satisfied, and then you're going to feel like you need to upgrade. So if you combine that $600 and $600, you're spending $1,200 for 2 generations within the same time frame that you're going to have that 4090. So it all makes sense once you look at it that way. Like, okay, look, if I'm going with NVIDIA, I'm going to want new features. Obviously, I'm buying NVIDIA for the new features, for the feature set, the DLSS, the ray tracing, the path tracing. Whereas on the AMD side, if you're buying AMD, you are buying for longevity. You are buying because you just want something that's going to last you. Now, with AMD's cards, mid-range cards coming in with 16 gigs of VRAM, 16 gigs of VRAM is going to be a pretty solid investment, while the consoles have 16 gigs of memory. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes more sense. Obviously, 16 gigs is more than you need because neither one of the consoles use full 16 gigs of VRAM, but it gives you a big enough buffer to where you should be able to, in fact, play all of these next-gen console games at the resolution you select. If you're getting a 7600 XT, you're gonna get a 1080p experience with that card. Yes, you could push that higher. You can go all the way up to 4K, whatever. You can do it, obviously. With a 7800 XT, you're going to get a much better 1440p experience throughout the generation. and easily be able to go into 4K on a lot of games like Call of Duty, stuff like that. Whereas if you want that 4K experience, yeah, you're going to be at 7900 XT or XTX. And the same goes for Nvidia. The 4080 is definitely the 4080 Super at $1,000 is going to be like your 4K your 4K option. I do still sometimes question, the VRAM on that one, but I think it's going to be fine. There are going to be some games that are going to run way better at 1440p versus what they're going to do at 4K. And that's fine. We're all just trying to find a piece of hardware that's going to make our gaming experience better. And at the end of the day, I think that you're not going to be able to go wrong either way. If you go AMD, you're going to have longevity. You're going to keep getting features. FSR 3.1 is coming out later this year. That's going to have, they're going to start integrating that. And from what I've seen, the image quality is going to look even better than it already does. A lot of the complaints about FSR seem to be getting solved in that. So yes, the upscaling technologies are going to get better. That's going to add longevity to the cards that you already have. FSR and frame generation on the AMD side is already adding longevity to the 30 series of Nvidia cards. Let's just face it. Like, people that are in the know on PC are going to be able to make these cards last. But if you are somebody, like me that's learning PC and stuff, and that's pretty much the whole point of this whole mission that I'm on when it comes to PC, is to try to help my console friends, to decide if they want to move over. And every day is a learning experience for me. I've never once claimed to be an expert on PC gaming, and I am pretty pig-headed, dude. I come at this like, oh my gosh, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. I come at things and I try to listen to people in the comment section. I really do, but then sometimes I just, when I'm reading the comments in the morning, I'll forget by the nighttime, and I'll have like some other thing to do. But yeah, guys, I'm very excited about the Nvidia thing. After being able to finally figure out like the digital vibrance thing, that completely enhances my experience, guys. It really does. It puts it in line with AMD. There's no more like AMD has better colors. They're it's with digital vibrance on and AMD saturation, like, it's really hard to tell the difference between like which one has better colors. And it's not like I didn't listen to the community. I just couldn't find it. I just couldn't figure it out. So in my mind, I was like, no, man, like, this is better. This is better. And I was willing to completely write off Nvidia and just stay with AMD 100%, just because that experience was much easier to find on AMD. But now I know how to do it on Nvidia. There's still a lot more on Nvidia I got to learn, but I'm not giving up on Nvidia. I'm not giving up. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna be happy about both brands. We are. I am still. I guess you can say I am still biased towards AMD. I'm not gonna lie about that. I do like AMD. I like the more VRAM. I like the experience. The user experience that AMD gives you. I think they are 100% in a competitive place for going forward with Nvidia, and that's awesome, man. I'll continue to cover AMD, and I'll continue to cover Nvidia, and I'll continue to be excited about both of them. There's no reason for me not to. I have access to be able to utilize both. I am keeping both drivers on the PC, like I said, until I build a new one, and then I'll separate them. I'll have Nvidia on its platform. I'll have AMD. I'm actually kind of just thinking about doing another AM4 build for that. Doing another 5900X and just running them with the exact same memories, motherboards, and because I could build that a lot cheaper. Same case, everything, and just have one as Nvidia and one as a AMD build, and be able to do that so that there's no confusion. So that, because I'm not a benchmarker, I'm not a benchmarker at all. And I use like Shadowplay to record, but then when I have both, I can record on one PC the other one, and I could record. You know what I mean? Like it is going to happen eventually. I just haven't decided. If I go AM5, then that's going to be more expensive because then both of them are going to have to be upgraded. And then, but if I just do like another AM4 build, I've pretty much got, I could essentially put back together my pre-build with the 4090 or the 4070 in there, and build that out. All I need is all I'd have to do is buy another 5900X, and then get the exact same memory that I've got in this one, and it would be pretty close. It would be pretty close. Definitely a different motherboard, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I still got to figure that out. But all right, guys, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.